The wooden plate. Rajiv was a carpenter. He lived in a small town with his 10-year-old son. His son name was Kabir, and his elderly father name was Deven. Life hadn't been easy for Rajiv. His wife had passed away a few years ago, and since then, things had only gotten harder. He worked during the day and often drank at night. His father, Deven, was old and weak. He had trouble walking and holding things properly. His hands would shake, and he often moved slowly. Rajiv didn't treat him well. He gave him just a little food, served on an old clay plate. Most days, Deven ate alone, sitting on the floor. Kabir noticed everything. He was a quiet boy, but he saw how his father behaved with his grandfather. It made him sad. He loved his grandfather. Every evening, he sat with him, talked, and listened to stories. He didn't like how his father shouted or ignored Deven, but he was too young and scared to say anything. One day, something happened. Deven was eating dinner as usual, sitting in the corner of the kitchen. His hands were shaking more than usual. Suddenly, the clay plate slipped from his hands and broke on the floor. The little food he had spilled everywhere. Rajiv heard the noise and came rushing in. He got angry right away. "Why can't you even hold a plate properly?" he shouted. "You're just creating more problems every day." Deven didn't reply. He bent down slowly and started picking up the broken pieces with shaky hands. He looked tired and embarrassed. Kabir watched from the hallway. He didn't say anything, but his heart hurt. That night, Kabir lay in bed thinking about it. He thought about how his grandfather looked when the plate broke, and how his father shouted. And then he wondered, what will happen when Papa gets old? The next day, Kabir quietly went to his father's workshop. He picked up a small piece of wood and some simple tools. He had seen his father working many times before. Slowly, he began to make something. It wasn't perfect, but he was careful. After some time, Rajiv walked in and saw Kabir working. "What are you doing?" he asked. Kabir looked up. "I'm making a plate," he said. "A plate? What for?" Kabir took a deep breath and said, "It's for you, Papa. When you grow old like Dadu, your hands might shake too. You might drop a plate. So I thought, I should make one from wood. It won't break." Rajiv stood there, silent. For the first time in a long while, he really looked at his son. Kabir wasn't angry. He wasn't shouting. He had simply said the truth, gently. And somehow, that hurt more than any angry words ever could. Rajiv sat down on the bench. He thought about his father, how Deven had raised him, worked hard for him, stayed up when he was sick as a child. And now, when Deven needed him the most, he was giving him the least. He looked at Kabir and said quietly, "I've been very wrong, haven't I?" Kabir didn't say anything. He just nodded. That night, Rajiv walked into his father's room. Deven was sitting quietly, folding his blanket. Rajiv sat beside him and said, "Baba, I'm sorry. I haven't treated you right." Deven looked surprised, then smiled a little. "You finally noticed," he said, half joking. Rajiv laughed softly. "Yes, and it took my son to teach me." After that day, Rajiv started changing. He stopped drinking. He began spending more time with his father. He served him proper meals and made sure he was comfortable. He didn't become a perfect man, but he became a better son and a better father. As for Kabir, he never had to finish the wooden plate, but he kept the piece he made safely in a drawer. The morale of the story is that we all grow old one day. How we treat our parents now is how our children might treat us later. Respect doesn't come from big actions. It comes from daily care, small kindnesses, and quiet understanding. And sometimes it's the youngest among us who teach the most important lessons.